The buzz around the Sony FX3i, sometimes referred to as the FX3 Mark II, has been growing stronger with every passing month. What was once pure speculation is now gaining credibility through multiple leaks, regulatory filings, and insider discussions. All signs point to one clear conclusion: Sony is actively developing the successor to its beloved compact cinema camera, and it could make its debut by late 2025. For many creators, this news comes with a sense of excitement and anticipation. The original FX3 carved out a unique space in the filmmaking world, a true hybrid of portability, performance, and cinematic image quality. But it wasn't perfect, and Sony seems determined to address every shortcoming this time around. The question, however, remains: can the Sony FX3i reclaim its position as the ultimate filmmaking tool for independent creators, or will it arrive too late in a field already packed with fierce competition from brands like Panasonic and Blackmagic? From early reports, it seems that Sony doesn't intend to abandon the minimalist, cage-free design that made the original FX3 so popular with solo shooters. That design philosophy allowed filmmakers to rig their cameras quickly without relying on bulky cages, thanks to multiple mounting points directly built into the body. For the Sony FX3i, rumors suggest that Sony might enhance this approach even further by introducing additional reinforced mounting threads, improving the overall durability and flexibility for attaching monitors, microphones, or wireless transmitters. Ergonomically, subtle yet meaningful refinements are expected, possibly a sturdier, weather-sealed chassis and smarter button placement for easier operation in fast-paced environments. These physical improvements would make the new model more appealing to field shooters who value both ruggedness and convenience. One of the more interesting design discussions revolves around the camera's cooling system. The original FX3 used an internal fan to manage heat during extended recording sessions, a practical feature that prevented overheating but introduced minor noise issues in sensitive audio environments. Insiders now claim that Sony is exploring a refined or possibly even fanless cooling system for the FX3i, which would be a game-changer for documentary filmmakers and sound professionals who work in quiet, controlled settings. This could involve more efficient heat dissipation materials or an intelligent hybrid approach that keeps the system nearly silent while maintaining long recording times. The display system is another area ripe for improvement. The FX3's articulating screen was functional but limited in flexibility, often obstructed by cables connected to the top handle. Borrowing design cues from newer alpha cameras, the Sony FX3i might introduce a more advanced, fully flexible LCD, one that can tilt, flip, and rotate forward freely without interference. This small yet significant enhancement would make a huge difference for vloggers, solo filmmakers, and anyone shooting from unconventional angles. A major talking point among the rumor community involves internal ND filters, a feature that has long been reserved for larger, more expensive cinema bodies like the FX6 or Venice. The inclusion of an internal ND system in the Sony FX3i would mark a monumental step forward for compact cinema cameras. Reports suggest Sony could draw inspiration from the ultra-thin drop and ND modules found in the Venice Rialto extension system, or third-party innovations like Tilta's designs. If this proves true, filmmakers could finally shoot with any lens under varying light conditions without the hassle of stacking external filters. For independent creators, this would be more than a luxury. It would completely change their workflow efficiency and flexibility on set. Of course, what truly defines a cinema camera is its sensor, and that's where expectations are shifting dramatically. The first FX3 used the same 12.1 megapixel full-frame sensor as the Alpha 7S II, celebrated for its outstanding low-light performance and clean, cinematic image quality. However, as competitors move toward higher resolutions, Sony is rumored to be preparing a new 6K sensor for the FX3i. This would bring increased detail, better oversampling for 4K delivery, and more post-production flexibility, all while avoiding the massive file sizes and overheating challenges associated with 8K. Some sources even whisper about a potential 8K option, but most agree that 6K represents the sweet spot between resolution and practicality. The real test will be whether Sony can preserve the stellar low-light sensitivity and dynamic range that define the FX3 while increasing pixel count. Autofocus performance is another area where Sony has consistently led the industry, and the FX3i will likely push that advantage even further. Leveraging the latest AI-powered subject tracking technologies seen in the Alpha 1 and A9 this next-generation cinema camera is expected to feature more intelligent recognition algorithms. That means faster and more accurate tracking of faces, eyes, and even specific objects across challenging environments. For documentary filmmakers, wedding videographers, or solo content creators, this kind of precision could be transformative, especially when shooting unpredictable, fast-moving scenes without a dedicated focus puller. Then comes one of the most intriguing rumors: the potential inclusion of a global shutter sensor. This would virtually eliminate rolling shutter artifacts, resulting in perfect motion rendering even during fast pans, handheld movement, or drone cinematography. However, as impressive as that sounds, global shutters often come with trade-offs, particularly in dynamic range and low-light performance. For now, it remains speculative, but if Sony manages to implement it without compromise, it would mark a massive leap forward for the FX line. Even if a global shutter doesn't make it, the Sony FX3i is still expected to deliver major improvements in sensor readout speed, frame rates, and overall responsiveness. The camera should feel faster and more capable across the board, catering to modern workflows where every frame and second counts. Two of the most anticipated upgrades, and ones that nearly all sources agree on, are open gate recording and internal RAW capture. These are crucial additions that address the biggest limitations of the original FX3. Open gate recording utilizes the sensor's full 3:2 aspect ratio rather than cropping to traditional widescreen formats. This provides immense flexibility for creators producing content from multiple platforms. One shot can be reframed for YouTube's widescreen format, TikTok's vertical orientation, or Instagram's square feed without losing quality or resorting to awkward digital zooms. For filmmakers working with anamorphic lens, open gate also means full use of the sensor area, preserving that sought-after cinematic aesthetic. Internal RAW recording is another long overdue feature. On the current FX3, capturing RAW footage requires an external recorder, a setup that adds both complexity and cost. By bringing RAW capabilities inside the body, the FX3i would streamline workflows, reduce rigging time, and deliver footage with maximum color depth and latitude. For colorists and editors, this means smoother gradients, greater flexibility in grading, and better control over highlights and shadows. Audio recording may also receive a serious boost. Rumors point to support for 32-bit float audio when paired with Sony's XLR top-handle module. This format virtually eliminates audio clipping, allowing creators to record in unpredictable environments without constantly adjusting gain levels. Whether you're capturing quiet interviews or loud live events, this would ensure clean, distortion-free sound, an upgrade that could save countless takes in real-world productions. For now, anticipation continues to build. The Sony FX3i represents not just another camera release, but a moment of evolution for Sony's entire cinema lineup, a chance to refine, expand, and perfect the formula that began with the original FX3. Whether you're a solo creator, documentary filmmaker, or professional cinematographer, one thing's certain: if even half of these rumors turn out to be true, the Sony FX3i could very well become the defining compact cinema camera of its generation.